Hi guys, I thought I'd do a quick video just for the kin to run through the Dol Amroth dailies and just show you where to start the Tarlang's Crown landscape group quests, which is pretty much like Limerick Gorge. So you'll have to bear with me, I've not done a video in like forever, so I'm probably pretty rusty. Also, I'm just winging this recording, so there's going to be jump cuts from editing where I decide, oh, that should have been said before this, so bear with. Anyway, let's get started. When you hit level 100, you'll get a remotely bestowed quest telling you that you should probably think about joining the Dol Amroth City Guard because it's so goddamn amazing, which it is. Make your way to Dol Amroth if you've not been there already, and come and see this chap, Dor, who is stood right next to a fountain. Just show you him on the map. If you can see where I am in the middle, he is right there. So that's where you need to come. I've already done the introduction, so you'll have to bear with me there as we go through this. It's fairly similar to Hype Bolt in the way it works, which is do your daily quests, earn reputation, earn tokens, and throughout Dol Amroth there's various barter NPCs, and depending which item you want, you'll need certain tokens from certain factions, and you may also need to have a certain amount of rep with certain factions. So that's the whole reason why we're here and doing this. So I'd advise you to go and have an explore and see what's on offer, and then decide what you want to get out of this. I'll just explain right off the bat that there are a total of 8 factions, 2 of which no one will have access to. Now that might sound a little strange, but that's basically because the last 2 factions, the Swan Knights and Mason, are gated behind a server-wide unlock, a bit like Bounder's Bounty. I'll show you that in a little bit. But to start with, you'll have access to 6 factions, so concentrate on those and take it from there. Once you've arrived at Dor, ready to do the introduction, have a chat with him, read through the dialogue. He's basically going to tell you need to prove your worth before we let you join the City Guard, and to do that he'll send you round the corner here and tell you to talk to this lady who's in charge of the library faction. She'll give you 4 quests to do, which need to be done in this area just here. So go and do them, come back, hand them in. You will then get 4 library tokens to use, which will be in your inventory. Use those will be enough to get you to hit Acquaintance, which strangely enough is actually the maximum that you can get to with any of these factions. Once you've hit Acquaintance, that's it. Okay, so once you've used your library tokens, that'll complete that quest, and your main introductory quest, it should be telling you to go back and talk to the chap stood by the fountain. So make your way back and have a natter with him. Turn that all in, and that's basically the introduction done. You will then have access to the main 6 factions and this quest, the Dol Amroth training exercise, which again we'll cover in a little bit. Okay, so let's just have a quick tour, and I'll show you where the NPCs are for the various factions. So Dor, he's for your intro and also for the training exercise. The main 6 factions are all located around this fountain. You can see we've got number 1, the Armory, number 2, Warehouse, number 3, Docks, 4, Great Hall, 5, Bank, and number 6 is Library. Now the vast majority of the quests that they offer are soloable, so you won't have an issue with those at all. The ones that you do need to be wary of is the warehouse quest.
How may I help you?
You only get one from Rodwin. That does require a small fellowship. It's not too bad, but yeah, soloing it might be a little tricky depending on your class. Bank is another story altogether. That basically offers quests that are very similar to Limnet Gorge. Also, strangely enough, there'll be an extra quest at the top here. Let me see if I can find it in my log. Yeah, there will be a quest called A Greater Foe on offer as well. That is basically an introductory quest as well to the area, because there's a number of dailies in that area, which if you complete, they will give you extra barter tokens. I think you earn silver tokens of Dol Amroth. So if you take part in those dailies, very much like Limnet Gorge, if you're a good player and you've got a group, you can earn some extra tokens by going and doing those dailies. Excuse me. On top of that, the standard 4 quests here are also fellowships, so that area is pretty nasty. I'll just show you it on the map as well. It's up in Blackroot Vale. It's basically from that milestone there roughly down to this junction. You can see it there. That road, nasty place. Something else that will probably trip up quite a few people as they go through this is these two places, Dol Amroth, which is for the warehouse quest, and Dol Amroth. I think Dol Amroth might just be for Great Hall, or it could be involved with another faction as well. Either way, if it begins with Tol, it's basically an island. These two here, this one here, and this one here. If your quests are telling you to go either there or there, don't try and swim there. I've done that. You'll get there if you're lucky, and there'll be nothing going on, and you'll be wondering what's happening. The way to get there is to head down to the wharf to this little jetty here. Come down, and you'll find 2 boats. Click on the boats, and those will port you to an instance. I won't go and show you the boats, but that little jetty there, that's where you need to go if you need to get to either of those 2 islands. Right, what I'll now do is just show you the locations for the last 2 factions, because you'll remember I mentioned 2 of them won't be available to you from the start. The first one of those is Mason. There's 2 NPCs for those just stood here. As you can see, no quest ring. And the other faction is Swan Knights, and those are just over here. You can see this chap here, and his gorgeous assistant stood here. And the way these last 2 factions works is a little bit like Bounder's Bounty, in that through doing your regular normal dailies you will earn silver tokens, and if you decide, you can donate them to either of these 2 NPCs. And if you hover over the flags, there you can see it says Dol Amroth, Emin Ernil. That's for the Mason faction, I believe. It says 24 donations out of 8,000 have been made so far. The one on the right is for the Swan Knights. 45 out of 12,000 donations have been made. Once those donations have been met, the NPCs for the Swan Knights and the Masons will suddenly offer quests, and that's the only way that you can earn rep or tokens for those 2 factions. It also unlocks some extra areas within the Pass of the Dead and the Caves of Emin Ernil, which I'll just give you a heads up, is roughly around here. You come out on this road, head up, and then there's a dirt path heading to the right. You go up that and then back on yourself quite a distance, and you'll find a door sort of in the cliff. That's Eminernil. But it's going to take quite a bit of work for the server, depending on which one you're on, to get that unlocked. There's various rewards that are gated behind those as well. So if you take the class armor, for example, I've just picked burglar, but it's the same for all classes. The chest piece is gated behind completing all of the Swan Knight quests, and the pre-made LI is gated behind completing all of the Mason quests. There's various other rewards as well that's gated, like certain housing decorations are gated behind it. And if we whiz round the corner here to the Essence Barter NPC, although that could be another video altogether, a couple of these boxes are also gated behind Swan Knight and Mason, I believe. Okay, so we're not doing bad. That's most of the basic stuff covered. We'll just have a little look at the dailies themselves. You get to pick 6. When you talk to the NPC and have a look at the quest, you'll see at the bottom it says you are currently underway or have completed 0 of 6 quests. So those are basically keeping count of your dailies. I've just gone and talked to the doc chap, and you can see each faction, when you complete the quest, will give you a box for that faction. Once you've opened that up, you will either get some silver tokens of Dol Amroth, or possibly some faction tokens. So for example, you might open a Doc's box and get a couple of tokens to use with the Doc's faction. You can either save those and use them to barter for rewards, or you can right click on them so that you can gain rep with the faction, which of course is important because some of the rewards require you to have acquaintance, and not only that, the training exercise, you must be acquaintance with at least one faction to take part in that. We'll get to that shortly. Now, strangely enough, when you open these boxes as well, you can get given tokens for other factions apart from Swan Knights and Mason. So you can open a Doc's box and you might get some Great Hall rep. You can open a Great Hall box and you might get some Armory rep, which is all good. Basically, my plan is to always use the tokens to gain rep to start off with. Once I'm at maximum rep, I will then just save them up to barter. If you've got alts, all of these tokens are not bound at all, so you can put them on the auction house, you can send them to an alt, swap them with friends, whatever you like, which is all good. So there we go. You've got those 6 quests to do each day. Obviously, depending on which quests you've already done, when you come back the next day, you'll find that you've got some on cooldown. So these were the ones I did yesterday. I'll then have to pick a different faction to do my 6 quests today, so on and so forth. The last little bit is the training exercise. This is how you earn your gold tokens of Dol Amroth. If we just go inside that, travel now. Yeah, the way this works is you come inside an instance. Basically, I won't give you any spoilers here on the plot, so to speak, but you come in and you pick which faction you want to help out. And these are all tied into the deeds as well, the quests that are offered here. You have to be acquaintance with the faction to be able to help them out. So bank is locked because I don't have acquaintance with them yet. The only one at the moment that I do is library, so you'd click on them.
These are troublesome times indeed.
You join them and carry on. You'll be given a boss quest, i.e. kill a named guy, or lizard or something, I don't know. And maybe 2 or 3 other random quests, which are all tied into the deed that you need to complete for each faction. So that's that, and that's how you earn your gold tokens. Okay guys, well I think that's most of the basics covered. That will be enough to get you on your way to understanding how all this works. Obviously, if there's anything I've missed, feel free to get in touch with me and I'll see if I can help you out further. But for now, that's it. See you soon.